Oh no. Shit! I only have 4 days to make a video about this. So, you can probably guess what this video is going to be about from the thumbnail and title, but I wanted to talk about Chainsaw Man before it gets animated and consumed by a cringy fanbase. I mean, I don't mean to toot my own horn or anything, but I actually read Chainsaw Man as it was being released. I started reading near the end of part 1. I remember waiting for multiple chapters to come out so I could binge them all, laying up in bed reading through the intense fight scenes and unique dialogue. Even though it was just a year ago, it still feels kind of nostalgic. This video will remain spoiler free until it won't. But don't worry, I'll give proper warning and timestamps before the spoilers while avoiding important details. But if you're gonna watch this, then I really recommend reading the manga first or watching the show when it releases. Chainsaw Man follows Denji, a teenage boy so distraught and struck down by life that he'd sell one of his testicles, one of his eyes, and one of his kidneys in order to repay the debt that his dead father left him with. In just the first page of the manga, we are introduced to an immediately sympathetic boy and his dog. Reading the first page back now sends chills up my cocked spine. But after we discover the lengths to which he'll go in order to repay a debt that isn't even his, we discover on the same page that he still has 38,040,000 yen left to repay, about $265,000 US. I mean, this was how much he still owed after he had already sold most of his organs that have duplicates. We never even find out how much he owed in total or how long he's been paying it off for, but presumably he's been paying it for years. He chops down trees with his chainsaw dog named Pochita, and alongside that he also hunts devils for the black market. After many fees though, this usually doesn't leave him with much. All of this, on top of the fact that he still needs to pay for his own living expenses, we are immediately thrust into Denji's harsh and impossible reality, the unbelievable pressure and lengths that he must go through in order to survive, and it is all explained to us through the first 5 pages. Although in these first 5 pages, Denji doesn't seem sad. He's not upset about the unfair life that he's been presented. He doesn't punch the wall and cry, or go on some long rant about what it means to be a hero. He just toughens up, hugs his dog, and wishes to eat bread with some condiments on it one day. Denji's motivations are simple. His way of life is simple, and he does what he is told. Even after being tricked into eating a cigarette, he just spits it out all disgruntled. Denji is a master at rolling with the punches, and this is his most powerful trait. In the next few pages, we're shown how Denji met Pochita at his father's grave. Mobsters yelling at his back as he stands in the rain. They say he needs to make 7 grand by tomorrow, even after recommending that he sell himself for money before driving off. After losing everything at such a young age, he sees a dog, a chainsaw dog, bleeding out. With nothing left to lose besides the shirt on his back and the blood in his heart, he makes a choice to make a contract with this devil and feed him his blood to keep him alive. Their bond is strong because of this. They continuously save each other just by being there for one another. As Denji says, I don't want to die either. Once again, this can all be gathered from the first 5 to 10 pages of the manga. This is important exposition that doesn't feel like exposition. It feels more like walking in on his life rather than Denji walking into ours. The manga doesn't start like, "Yep, that's me. My name's Denji, and I sold my left testicle to pay back my father's unbelievable debt. XD. You might think it's a little crazy, but that's just how things are for me in this doggy-dog world." Denji is also one horny bastard. Alongside wanting better food to eat, he wants a chest to squeeze. And it's this transparency about human desire that is so lost in modern shonen anime that Chainsaw Man perfectly encapsulates. There's no pussyfooting around being horny. Denji is very straightforward about his desires, and this makes him a relatable person. I'm gonna skip ahead a bit in the manga and leave out some important details for people who don't want spoilers. This is completely unrelated, but recently I started watching The Walking Dead, and while watching I realized that at the heart of a good story is a good drama, and a good drama is categorized by survival, conflicting interests, believable hopes, believable fights, and goals. The shifting values of characters as twists and turns change the knowledge that's been gathered and provides new context to your character's actions. If a twist does not recontextualize your knowledge of the show, then it's not really a twist, is it? And Chainsaw Man has plenty of these recontextualizing twists. Human desire is a thematic through-line in the story. Denji may be a simple character, but that is not to his detriment, nor rather, it is to his benefit. Spoilers after this point in the video. After being tricked by the mafia, they kill him. Plain and simple. They kill him and dump him in a dumpster. Chop the pieces. Head, torso, arms, legs all severed from one another. It's not pretty, it's not theatrical. It's then that we're introduced to this scene. Denji and Pochita are chopping down trees, when Denji says, "Pochita, I'll probably get myself killed fighting devils before long. If that happens, I'm worried about what'll happen to you. You might starve to death, or maybe get taken out by another devil hunter. I heard there are devils who can take over dead people's bodies. If you can do that, then I'll give you my body. After I'm in the grave, the Yakuza will forget about me. You can leave this town and then, yeah. It'd be nice if you could have a normal life and die a normal death. Fulfill my dreams for me. But Pochita protests. By sacrificing himself, he replaces Denji's heart with himself. Pochita is no longer his own entity, instead Pochita is Denji's new heart. Chainsaw Man. Denji wakes up in the dumpster when Pochita says,
I liked hearing your dreams, Denji. This is a contract. I'll be your heart. In exchange, show me more of your dreams.
He bursts through the dumpster and tears his way through the endless devils in a grotesque and chaotic fight scene. It is messy, it is harsh, and it leaves you wondering what could possibly be next. He's no longer in debt, and Pochita, his best friend, now resides in Denji's chest. After this, a girl visits the warehouse in which the bloody fight ensued and offers him a proposition, in the same way that he had lent a helping hand to Pochita, but for much more sinister reasons. Denji's simple nature is what keeps him alive and kicking. If he started asking questions, if he started pushing back, if he showed signs of rebuttal, then he would have died or been killed much earlier in the manga. His simple nature allows him to be manipulated, and to a degree he's aware of this, but he just doesn't care. He doesn't care why he's being manipulated, he's just doing his job, doing what he's been told. He's not changed from who he was, but in his eyes he doesn't need to change. He is all he's ever wanted. Things are better for him. He has human friends, and every day he gets closer to happiness. He may not know it, but he's happy. He's blissfully ignorant to his future and what may lie ahead, but he is happy. A feeling that is all too familiar with most people today. The only time that Chainsaw Man really does something predictable is in its 3-man group archetype with 1 girl and 2 male lead. This is actually a pretty common shonen archetype. Naruto, Jujutsu Kaisen, Attack on Titan, hell, even Berserk. What changes in these typical 3 archetypes between the creator, the explorer, and the caregiver is their values. While other shonen protagonists will slay demons for their sister, or slay demons for their family, slay demons to collect fingers, or slay demons for the girl that they like, or slay demons for the girls that they like.
Now I'm gonna take you down, you son of a bitch!
Denji slays demons for himself. He slays demons to make money and put plain food on his table. 2 slices of plain bread for 2 unfortunate plain souls. Denji works hard in order to hopefully one day live a better life, a feeling most people today are all too familiar with in the modern world. This is something that typically isn't shown in Shonen Jump. Slaying demons is cool, paying off debts is not. Turning into a chainsaw demon and ripping other demons to shreds is cool, but feeling the pain of the chainsaws rip through your own flesh is not. Being surrounded by pretty women is cool, but getting your heart broken is not. There's a clear contrast between Denji's desires and Denji's reality. He's not just constantly fighting for his future, he's fighting for his now. His world is dangerous. The people who inhabit his world are dangerous. Even some of his closest friends are dangerous. This sense of life that isn't typically shared is incredibly down to earth. For a manga so edgy that blood and guts explode out of demons' chests and stomachs, seas of unfortunate souls get torn to shreds, and all Denji can do is improvise. He never has a clear long-term goal, besides squeezing titties and eating bread with lots of jam. Denji's a simple man in a complex world. He may not know it, but he has 2 options. He either 1, lets the world control him, roll over and do what people say, or number 2, become the very thing he hates, a complex person. Denji doesn't want to live a complex life. Denji just wants to be happy. In order to be happy, he needs to tear down the people around him, keep doing what he is told, again and again and again. It's not until later that we find out that someone else has been pulling the strings all along, pulling his strings, like a marionette, but not for his benefit, for his detriment. One of my favorite things about this manga is how it portrays the idea of show, don't tell. I love a book or a show that respects its audience and doesn't give clear-cut answers all the time. When Denji and Aki start taking turns kicking this guy in the balls, there's no monologue about how happy he is to have a new friend.
Oh, he made a friend at school. Aki, are you having fun with your friend?
No, they just simply show you. He smiles. Hey, what's up? It's Boyo here. This is probably the end of the video now. I've wanted to talk about Chainsaw Man for a long time, and I'm glad that I finally had the opportunity to make this video, and if you're watching it and you made it this far, then please hit the subscribe button so I can keep making videos like this. If you choose to support me, then I'll keep showing you my dreams. I write, edit, and produce all these videos by myself, and it takes a really, really long time, so it means more than you could possibly imagine. Thank you so much for watching, and this is definitely not the last Chainsaw Man video I'm going to make, so if you want to see more, then that subscribe button's right down there. Thank you so much for watching, and goodbye.